2 videos about anxiety in a row. What is this, 2016? Anyway, trust me when I say this, I have a good reason for making this video. When I came across this on Twitter the other day, this genuinely angered me. Like, actually genuinely angered me. Anyway, Jake Paul decided to run his mouth, or rather, write a tweet about anxiety, proving that he knows little to nothing about anxiety, but still feels the need to run his mouth about the subject anyway. It's basically yet another case of someone who knows absolutely nothing about mental illness, someone from a place of privilege too, who knows nothing about actual suffering, but still feels the need to reach out to those who are suffering from certain mental illnesses and give them shitty advice that he thinks is sound, but in reality, actually fucking stupid. But anyways, this really isn't anything new. So many people have done this in the past, but considering it's Jake Paul doing this time, it is substantial. He's been called out to hell and back on Twitter by many people, and also major mainstream news sources are picking up on this and tearing him a new one for this tweet. So that's why I'm talking about it here. And plus, also, like I already made clear, this really did actually piss me off. So anyways, here's the tweet. Remember, anxiety is created by you. Sometimes you gotta let life play out and remind yourself to be happy and that the answers will come. Chill your mind out, go for a walk, talk to a friend. Yes, Jake, you fucking genius. That is how you solve anxiety. Oh, just be happy. Remember all the good times you've had in the past. Talk to some friends, even though your anxiety could be so crippling to the point where you can't socialize. But no, fuck that. Talk to some friends, talk to someone, anyone, and then your anxiety will just go away. Yes, I so wish anxiety was just that simple. You genuinely think that is actually a real substantive solution to anxiety? Yes, just talk to people or just remember some good times. Just overall just be happy. If anxiety were that easy to cure, no one would have anxiety. Trust me, absolutely fucking zero people would have anxiety, because if it were that easy to get rid of, no one would have it. People would just would just solve out their anxiety that way through these very simple solutions, and thus their anxiety would be eliminated. But since anxiety is a lot more complicated than how your tweet made it out to be, millions of fucking people around the world suffer from it. And I'm so tired of dolts like you speaking out about it like you know anything about it, and thinking that you have all the answers. Just be happy. Yes, it's really that simple, Jake. It really fucking is. Can you just stick to what you know? Going in front of the camera, jumping around, yelling, screaming, making your shitty-ass quote-unquote rap music for your 8-year-old audience to enjoy and eat up, and not try to talk about things you obviously don't fucking know about. Again, I'm so tired of all these people who clearly know nothing about mental illness acting like these fucking professionals, saying just think happy thoughts, it's all in your head, think happy thoughts, do other things, and then it'll just go away like that. It is not that fucking simple. Just because the pain isn't physical doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And in ways, anxiety can transfix itself into something physical. Like, for example, I suffer from panic attacks. I don't have it that often. I used to have it on a somewhat regular basis, but I think I have it mostly under control now. And also, whenever I get anxious, I get all sweaty, my palms sweat too, my breathing becomes heavy, my heart starts racing, especially when I'm in like a social area where I'm not comfortable in, like if I have to speak in front of people or do anything of the sort that's out of my comfort zone within an area that's populated with a lot of people. That's what happens to me. That is certainly something that just doesn't go on in my head. And I'm sorry, no matter how much you think this works, thinking happy thoughts just doesn't help in that situation, because a lot of the times my anxiety gets so out of control in those moments that I can't think happy thoughts, I can't take my mind off of what is making me anxious, and thus your little just be happy solution falls the fuck apart. Do you know how many people take medication for their anxiety because their anxiety is just that bad to the point where they need a pill to calm it down? And do you know how many people end up killing themselves who have suffered from really bad anxiety throughout their lives and they just couldn't take it anymore? Their anxiety and depression gets to a certain point where they just can't handle living with it anymore. It is a serious fucking crippling mental illness. In many, many cases that requires a lot of care, a lot of attention, treatment, and such. And unfortunately, I have so many people in this world who just treat it like a joke, just because they think it's just because it is something mental, it is something that shouldn't be taken as seriously as it should be taken. And the thing that really, really bothers me about this the most is the fact that Jake Paul is looked up to by so many kids. So many kids. He's popular with these like 9-year-olds and these kids who are in their early teens. They look up to this guy. They may see this tweet. They may be suffering from really bad anxiety, and they may try to take his advice. Oh, just be happy, think of happy things, talk to friends and such. And when they find that these solutions don't do anything to ameliorate their anxiety, they're like, is there something wrong with me? Like something seriously wrong with me? That Jake Paul's advice didn't help me at all, and thus they may feel worse about themselves because they think that they're in an even worse position because they think Jake Paul's advice is so sound that it'll cure their anxiety because they don't know better. They look up to this guy. They think he has all the answers. He has all these kids looking up to him, and the fact that he gave this fucking shitty ass, terrible, false advice is just so damaging to potentially a lot of kids. And their self-confidence and self-worth may go down the drain even further, and maybe their anxiety and depression will worsen as a result of this, because again, they may try to follow Jake Paul's advice and see that it doesn't work and think they're just a hopeless case, nothing will ever get better, things will just get worse from here on out, and you don't know what could happen as a result of that. And of course, it just gets worse. Jake Paul made a follow-up tweet to this. After he received the backlash that he deserved, he had this to say in response. Everyone clowning my tweet, but it's now spreading more awareness about anxiety, which I didn't even know was a thing till I was 18. Fucking wow. But had it my whole life and never knew how to deal with it. Now, I can't speak about the validity of the article that he linked in that post, but I will talk about his tweet here because the way he worded that tweet is just so legitimately disgusting. Everyone is clowning on my tweet. Yeah, because they totally didn't have a valid reason to severely disagree with your initial tweet about anxiety. How dare anyone discredit the almighty Jake Paul's high IQ take regarding anxiety? Yeah, everyone is clowning on it for no good reason at all. No, everyone who is quote-unquote clowning your tweet has a legitimate reason as to why they really severely disagree with it, because it is spreading such a terrible, terrible fucking message that anxiety is just in your head and shouldn't matter, and the only solution to anxiety is thinking happy things. Okay, cool, your little tweet blew up in the worst way possible, but yeah, it blew up and it got people talking about anxiety. Anxiety has been a problem that so many people have faced their whole entire lives, past, present, and future. You making a tweet about it does fucking nothing to the discourse about anxiety. So please, don't pat yourself on the back so much, Jake. Don't give yourself more credit than you deserve, which is absolutely zero. Anyway, fuck these morons. Fuck these morons. Oh, and you also, you yourself suffer anxiety. Press X to doubt. I really severely doubt that you actually do have anxiety, because you clearly know nothing about it if you're going to give such a half-assed quote-unquote solution to the problem and treat it like it's something much less than it really is. It is a mental disorder. The main takeaway of this video is this. Just because something is mental, just because the pain you're feeling, I should say rather, is mental, does not mean that it doesn't exist. Get help if you feel that you need it. If you're feeling extremely down, if your anxiety is really, really crippling you in the worst ways possible, reach out to someone. Get help, please. To take the proper steps needed to combat your anxiety. Don't just think happy thoughts, talk to some friends about it, and think that's going to take your anxiety away. It won't. Get actual professional help. Maybe take medication. Again, do all the necessary things that you need to do in order to combat your anxiety. I'm not a professional. I'm not going to say I'm not going to act like I know all the solutions to your problems, okay? But just do whatever you feel like you need to do to curb your anxiety, to combat against it, really. And to anyone who may hold the same exact ignorant views about anxiety and mental illness in general, like Jake Paul does, fuck you. Just fuck you. There was a tweet that I came across on Twitter, and this is the tweet that made me aware of Jake Paul's stupid take about anxiety. It was made by some content creator on YouTube named Tamimi. She made a video about this. I didn't watch it yet, but she made a tweet about this that I think makes a beautiful point. She copy and pasted the tweet that Jake Paul made verbatim and replaced the word anxiety with cancer, and it pretty much sends the message that, would you say the same exact thing to a cancer patient? Oh, just think happy thoughts and your cancer will go away. No, because I'm sure everyone would agree that is a stupid thing to say about a cancer patient. But, oh, their pain is physical, so that means it's real. Compared to these people who feel some anxiety, oh, their pain is not real because it's just mental. It's just in their heads. Mental illness is a legitimate illness. Illness is illness, no matter if it's just in your head or not. And I am sick to fucking death of these nimrods who think they know everything about the subject, when in reality, they know absolutely nothing, but still feel the need to run their fucking mouths about it. Fuck you, Jake Paul, and fuck the rest of these ignorant fucks who decide to run their mouths about anxiety and make it seem like it's nothing at all. It's just in your head. It doesn't matter at all. When in reality, it is something. It is something that cripples people. But these people are just too fucking stupid and ignorant to realize that, and they're living in the 20th century as opposed to the 21st century when it comes to these kind of things. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.